Hey everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about how things have been going since I started doing this with no carbs at all here. Um, I've gone 13 full days without eating any carbs, nothing to drink other than water. So no club soda, no flavored sparkling waters, sodas of any kind, anything, just plain water. For the most part, it's been meat, salt to season, and water for 13 straight days. And I've been noticing some things that I had never noticed before. And I'm thinking probably because before, even if I was really strict in not doing any carbs, and I could do that maybe a week or so at a time, and then I'd have a day that I'd have carbs. So, first of all, it wasn't quite as long as this time, but also I would drink flavored waters, sparkling waters, stuff like that. And um, some of those that I would drink, had sucralose in it, which is essentially sugar, right? It's artificial sweetening. Um, so I think that with staying away from all that and just going meat, salt, and water, it's made a big difference that I hadn't seen in really the 9 to 10 months or so here that I have been doing carnivore. So I guess I am kind of admitting that I haven't been fully carnivore, maybe more like 90% carnivore, right? Because there's been that, the little bit of sparkling water or whatever, or sometimes I'd have a carb or something, that kind of thing with a meal. So, that's how it seems like. That seems to be the difference. So 13 straight days. And what I've noticed is my hunger and I guess the signals in my brain thinking that I needed to eat, they're gone. And the only time I'm actually hungry is when I really need to eat. And so with that, I would say it's now about 5 or 6 days in a row where I have only ate one meal. Typically, it's been like around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it might most of the time it's probably ribeye steak because I tend to eat that a lot. I really like eating ribeyes, so I might have about 24 ounces, so a pound and a half or so, maybe with a little bit of butter and then seasoned salt. Most of the time, they'll probably not even butter really; it's just the salt, right, to season, and then water. And I've been pretty much just doing that. Or there's been times I've had like a pound of ground beef and like 4 or 5 eggs, and that's been my meal for the day. Um, Today I had uh, a pound of ground beef burger patties. There were 1/3 pound patties. I had three of them, and then like 2 eggs, I think it was. And that's all I had to eat today. So as you can see, just the one meal a day has been fine for me, and I eat until I'm full. Like Dr. Berry would say, comfortably stuffed, right? So I'm pretty full, and then I just don't eat again until I get hungry again, which has typically been about 24 hours. Um, So the other day, a good example, I had a little bit more steak because I had a 14-ounce ribeye and then a let me think about this. It was an 18-ounce ribeye, so there was 32 ounces, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna just do the one. I'm just gonna do them together, and if there's leftover, there's leftover. And so it's 32 ounces, and I think there was probably about 8 ounces left that I couldn't eat anymore because I knew I was pretty full, and it was to the point where it wasn't tasting as good to me as well. And that's something that I've heard a lot from Dr. Anthony Chafee, that when you're full, when you're on this diet where you're just eating meat, salt, and water, you learn that you're full basically by the meat starts as you're eating. It's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't taste as good. You kind of know at that point that you're full. And that's kind of what happened to me. So I had about 24 ounces of the ribeye at that point. I had 8 ounces left. I was going to, just put it in the fridge and have it for the next day. But my son was home and I offered it up to him and he ended up eating the steak. So, but that just shows you that even with eating just one meal, when this is all you're eating and your signals in your brain are no longer telling you that you're hungry because of being addicted to sugar or whatever, that you you don't need to eat anymore. You actually end up eating less. So on this diet, I'm seeing on carnivore that if I'm really strict with it and I get rid of those sugar cravings and so forth, I really don't need to eat as much. I eat less. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you know what? Carnivore isn't as expensive as I once thought it was, because I can eat a pound or a pound and a half of meat and I'm fine. I don't need to eat again. And it's just one meal. So you don't have to be bothered with multiple meals, trying to figure out when you're going to eat and all that stuff. So it's become really convenient for me. The interesting thing is that the rest of my family is not doing the carnivore diet. And so that becomes interesting. And just today was interesting because my wife and we went to go out and I'm out of steak. So I was looking for some steaks, just a quick thing, because I do have a butcher box order coming soon. So I was just looking for something for like a day or two. Right. And it was already later in the evening. So like Costco wasn't open or anything. And of course she was hungry. Again, she doesn't do the carnivore diet. And so in the past, we would have probably gone to a restaurant or something. I would have ate when I didn't need to eat. And she supported me well, like she was like, I'll just go through a drive through and get something. And she just ate something, that way. And then we continued on to the store. And of course, I'm picky. So I didn't find anything that I really liked that was at a good price. So I'm probably going to end up going to Costco tomorrow to get some steak. But I do have some burgers at home that I can cook up, some beef burger patties. So I'll probably do that for lunch tomorrow, the 2 o'clock time period, whatever, if I haven't gone to Costco yet. So don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and share it on social media and so forth. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. And that'll help to get the videos going in the YouTube algorithm. And then we'll be able to get more people seeing my journey through carnivore. And that'll just get more people thinking about the carnivore diet and so forth. And, help us to get this more mainstream, because this really is a proper human diet.